Well, hello and welcome to a New Year's edition to a Rising Sun campaign playthrough of the 6th Rising Sun campaign thingy. Now, for those confused about my the weird thing on my head, it's the start of the year of 2026 right now. At least at the time of releasing this video. I'm actually recording this in advance, so I feel a bit silly. I mean, I would feel a bit silly otherwise as well. But nonetheless, I thought this might be a funny little touch to the video. And yeah, we can dive right into this campaign where Craftsman has Shadowified, and we've already seen this stamp on Change on the Second Kingdom. It's a pretty powerful stamp which turns Craftsman into a shadow card. So we can play it from our deck as if in our hand, and when shuffling it, we put it at the bottom of our deck. Now, yeah, this is the only change to this kingdom, but yeah, the kingdom itself looks as follows. We have Cellar, sometimes a bit good for cycling, but also not that impressive. We have Craftsman, as I said, Shadowified, and probably stronger than would be otherwise. Alley for some cycling, Poet for cheap draw, Bureaucrat for being a bit useless probably, River Shrine to trash and out early and often, and then we have Bandit to gain golds, Kitsune to again be a centralizing attack that you won't want to skip here, Litter for draw and actions, and also Rice Broker for some thinning, and later on also possibly some nice draw, because trashing actions is quite powerful. And we have rapid expansion to go with that, and that means that after 5 Omen cards like River Shrine, Kitsune, or Poet have been played by any player, rapid expansion will trigger, and then that means when we gain an action or treasure, we set it aside and play it at the start of our next turn. And that means that, for example, Craftsman gaining cards costing up to 5 will be set aside, Kitsune silvers, and what else? Bureaucrats silvers as well. They are not gained onto the top of our deck. Bandits golds will immediately wander into play, and whatever we gain off of River Shrine. And also, of course, the cards we buy. Now, apart from that, we have Kintsugi, which is a trashing, a thinning event costing 3, allowing us to trash a card from our hand, and if we've gained a gold this game, we gain a card costing up to 2 more than the trashed card, which means that for just 3 money and a buy, essentially, and a gold in our hand later on, we might be able to remodel golds into provinces, or even threaten and then a quicker ending of the game by remodeling provinces into provinces. And that's the kingdom for you. The kingdom plot looks as follows, and you might have hopefully already noticed that we are lacking any plus buy. Now, that doesn't mean you cannot do anything here, especially with Craftsman and Rapid Expansion. We might be able to get away with building up many. I think that's what I did ages ago when I played this kingdom first. We might be able to build up an army of Craftsmen and then for the duchy pile out. But yeah, you're basically limited to gaining, or you're for sure limited to gaining a single province per turn, as there's no plus buy. And what you can do is, as I said, you can turn a gold into a province, but that also costs you the buy. So yeah, for sure you want to go for lots of gains here. River Shrine also looks good for earlier trashing. And Craftsman in this Shadowified form also looks pretty amazing, especially with River Shrine, because if you combine those, if you get to play both on the same turn, then you can pay off the debt in your buy phase and then still gain a card costing up to 4 of the River Shrine, even since you haven't bought anything. Now, yeah, what would I recommend opening wise? I think the 4-3 is quite good. We get to either Kintsugi away an estate and then go for Craftsman, or go for a River Shrine Kintsugi. It also looks fine, although you might struggle to hit 5 then. You can still go for a... Actually, thinking about it, going for River Shrine and then Kintsugi on turn 2 instead of the Craftsman might actually be better, might be faster, because you're guaranteed to then find the River Shrine either turn 3 or turn 4. You can gain a Craftsman, you can trash out with Kintsugi even more, and also the River Shrine, and then you're set to go for Kitsunes. So yeah, probably the best opening on the 4-3 is not what I suggest here, but rather River Shrine and Kintsugi. And then also, yeah, on the 5-2, probably a bit worse, just going for Rice Broker, nothing. I don't think you should go for Cellar. Tragic Heroes are just there to signify great tragedy and having to skip your opening turn. But yeah, we have the 4-3, and thus I would say we start into this game with a well-timed River Shrine Kintsugi opening, and AI seems to agree with that. Can end our buys, pick up this Craftsman, and then here, do we want to pick up some draw and Poet, or just, I think it's just thinning out one more estate is best. And now we should pick up a Kitsune, pay off the debt. Of course, it's not great to not be able to play the River Shrine, but that was to be expected. We can end our actions here, as we're guaranteed to be able to play both at the same time. And pick up yet another Kitsune. We really want to hammer in those curses. And now we should start with the Craftsman train, I think. So we go for actions, curse opponents here, thin out those two. Craftsman for... Actually, we have 5 coppers there, right? So best thing to do is gain a Rice Broker, and off of the River Shrine, we could either gain another River Shrine, but then we might not have... we could gain another River Shrine and be in debt eternally, essentially. We would open ourselves up to some some sadness if we bought stuff, but I don't think we are going to be buying stuff anytime soon, so probably just River Shrine is best, and then we can pick up 2 Craftsmen next turn. Yeah, this is great. I didn't factor in the curse we would gain here, but, well, at least at bottom, it has the decency to bottom deck, which is exactly what we would like to. So we can curse the opponent, and probably not trash this. There's no real need to. Or is there? Yeah, no, the Rice Broker next turn could just... the Rice Broker can either trash a River Shrine if we need a draw, or it could... yeah, it could just... just get... be Rice Broker fodder or whatever. So next turn, let's try to maybe get more Kitsune, although then we're not likely to draw. No, but actually a Kitsune should be fine. And now those 2 River Shrines can gain River Shrine Craftsman. One of the River Shrines might bottom deck. But yeah, the nice thing about the Craftsman is that we don't really need to draw them. So yeah, let's go for more of those than more Kitsune. Although here now we of course run into the problem of maybe not having enough actions. Let's see, how many actions do we have? Curse the opponent, gain probably 1 liter or 1 rice broker actually, which can trash an action card next turn to have big time draw, and also some monies, and probably another craftsman. And we're slowly getting there to, well, this should curse the opponent for sure. We're slowly getting somewhere where we can just pick up a bunch of duchies and close out the game that way, hopefully. So let's end our actions here and just pick up 2 more craftsmen, right? AI has craftsman Kitsune set aside. It could gain, in its deck it does have 1 more craftsman, or actually a few more craftsmen, right? The question is just how much are we allowed to lower here? It also has the river shrine. So in principle, if AI were to double curse us, gain 4 kitsunes. So we have 1, 2, 3 craftsmen. We have set aside 3, so 6, 8. Okay, AI only has 2 craftsmen to gain 2 kitsunes, so we should be on the safe side and actually be able to pile out ourselves next turn. Hopefully with, yeah, 7 craftsmen being played. This is quite the amusing deck. And yeah, we can get rid of this rice broker, we really don't need it. And now just pick up all of those juicy duchies, and we even have enough to well, gain some silvers for the next turn to set up the next turn. We don't even need to worry at all about the debt situation. We're never getting out of debt anyway, so what gives? And trash those curses, play this last river shrine, and gain 2 estates. And even though we never were able to province, we were able to empty duchies on turn 10. So I don't think a strategy which would have gone for provinces would have been competitive, just because this was just so fast. The craftsman stuff just snowballs insanely. And yeah, I like the river shrines early on to stay ahead on the trashing, then pivoting into craftsman did seem like a good thing, just because they do not require this plus drawing them. And yeah, maybe we could have been even more aggressive, but also, of course, AI's curses have slowed us down. And yeah, interesting, fast. I think this was even faster than I have it in memory, so I'm pretty pleased with how this went. And what a way to start the new year of 2026. Ah, you can see it over here. This the head thingy is from 2016, as you might be able to make out that the 2 is not that natural there. But it's become a tradition for me to wear it on New Year's Eve, on New Year's actually. Now, yeah, that wraps up the video. Sorry if I bored you with talking about this, but it's been a pretty brief video anyways, just 14 minutes, super short, super nice. And yeah, with that, I would like to wish you a very nice and pleasant 2026, and we'll try to catch you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.